latest and greatest, Facebook Live. Today is Tuesday, the day before Wednesday, 2 days before Thursday. Thursday is Thanksgiving, and then Saturday is RSNA, another Thanksgiving killed. But nevertheless, we'd like to welcome everybody and wish everybody, wherever they are, a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. And those of you who are going to RSNA, hopefully we'll see you all there. And those of you who are not going to RSNA, you'll have to work hard because the rest of us are at RSNA. Just the usual. So I look forward, as we spoke last week a little bit about RSNA, the changes or lack of changes that will be occurring there, the new color. I can't imagine what color it's going to be this year, maybe blue or maybe opaque something or other. The virtual reality and the virtual reality of the virtual fact that most of what companies will be showing have no reality. I expect AI to be doing everything from how to order lunch, how to order breakfast, to how to read the scans. So that'll be kind of cool. But that's for another time, and maybe we'll get back to after RSNA and tell you what happened there. But I want to speak about CME. We just had our course this past weekend. We're in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace. The slot machines were broken. I could not win anything, so that's my analysis there. But we had a terrific meeting. We had Charlie White from the University of Maryland. We had Mike Federle from Stanford. We had a few of the Hopkins people. We had Jan Fritz and Steve Rowe and myself speaking. So I thought it was a good meeting. We had good attendance. I thought the content was good. I thought the AV was good. I think everyone had a good time at the meeting. And it was a 3-day meeting, our first 3-day meeting. And one of the things we did is we had longer days. We always go to 5 o'clock on the first day, but we went into mid-afternoon the second day, and the third day we went home. So we stopped at 12:30. We had hands-on training. So Lauren and Tony from Siemens did the usual incredible job doing hands-on training, which people like, and whether you're a Siemens user or not. And most people seem not to be Siemens users, or maybe they didn't know they had a Siemens scanner. They didn't know the software existed, but people do like that hands-on feel of what is going on and get a good look at what newer workstations can do, and whether it's for dual energy or cinematic rendering or just simply cardiac or colon or whatever you want. It's kind of a good way to go. Now, I have spoken about this, or at least mentioned in the past, one of the challenges. CTisus, as most of you know, we don't charge anything. So I always joke that the way we fund CTisus is that we don't charge, but we make it up on volume. So we have hundreds of thousands and literally millions of people who use CTisus, and that's really good, and we take great pride in doing that for the past 19 years. But it's important to recognize that there is a cost, and the reason we survive and get by, I'm for free, so that's my contribution to the process, is because we've had really good support from GE over the years. And they've cut back a little bit, but it's still very generous, and we do really thank the GE for their support to us. But one of the other ways we supported is by when we run courses, and I've been doing 3 courses a year. We used to do 4 for literally our 35th year coming up, is that I've been able to use the profit from the courses to be able to fund CTisus. And so that's how we fund CTisus. It's kind of Hopkins does not give me any money. You can see there's no Hopkins names here. So it's really a endeavor that we love, but something that really, literally does cost a bunch of money. So I'm here to tell you that one of the things you need to do is go to CME courses, right? You could look at things online, and you could look at things in textbooks. Online, of course, that's what you are right now. So we know you're going to go there. But I think there's nothing like going to a meeting or 2 a year where you're sitting for 3 or 4 days, really just focusing on the issues at hand, meeting other people, asking questions, just getting in the mode. And that's, whether you're a technologist or a radiologist, it works very much both ways. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're going to go to a course, pick our course. We have terrific speakers. Our next course, February 7th to 10th in Swan Hotel at Disneyland. And then in May 17th to 19th, we'll be in Nashville at the Gaylord. And we always negotiate really good rates, so it's about the best rate you can get. And our CME meetings, if you look at the brochures, usually run about $300 to $400 less than a lot of the competitors, and we don't try to get the most money. We try to get a reasonable value. I mean, things are expensive. For example, when we do breakfast at a meeting, even though it looks like it's croissants and fruit and pastries and coffee and juice, but the end result is it costs about $50 a person because it's hotels. And so the bottle of water, which was like 8 ounces, was $6. And there's a 22% gratuity. So you're drinking like liquid. You can go down to the bar and do better. In fact, we would do better for breakfast if we gave everybody a certificate for the buffet. They can eat all day for what it costs us, for far less than it costs us for breakfast. But hotels have a kind of this sketchy way of doing things, of course, and maybe it's not so sketchy. They give you the room for free, but you have to pay for the food and beverage at a certain guarantee. So it's a challenge. So when we do a course, we're always taking a risk, and I am personally responsible for that risk. So it is somewhat of a challenge. But what we would urge you is to try to, if you can, if you have the money, the funds, attend one of our meetings. I think it will help you. We have well-run meetings, 23 to 28 talks, depending on the meeting. Really, really good speakers, like this past meeting, and we don't mess around. We take it very seriously. We have great AV, great breaks, and great talk. So I am going to say that it's important for people to think about choosing wisely. Now, I'm in charge of choosing wisely at RSNA, and that relates to radiation dose. So I'm saying to choose wisely in terms of CME courses. There are a lot of really good courses, but our course, I think, is as good as any or better. But also, if you support our course, then you're also supporting CTisus. And here's CTisus. This is Lydiana. Lydiana, I'm on the phone, so I'll call Lydiana back. But I think this was a pledge. I think people thought they were supposed to call in and pledge like it was a Jerry Lewis telethon or something. But we're not taking pledges. But we do make the point that we have our friends who help us out at CTisus. This guy you may recognize, one of my heroes, Yoda. This is a so-so Yoda. It's okay, I guess, for $9 or something, it's a so-so Yoda. And then, of course, we also have Darth Vader. And remember, how do you get there? Darth Vader's really dark on this screen here, but you can see his head move, bobblehead. So, if anyone wants to sponsor us, the Darth Vader people, so Disneyland, where is that? I can't. All right, here we go. Disneyland. We can have Darth Vader and Yoda come to you. And so if Lucasfilms wants to support us, remember we started with Lucasfilms. That's where all our 3D started, the pre-Pixar days. But looking forward, I know they're opening a lot of good things at Disneyland. I think there's a Star Wars land or something like that. They used to have something, but it was kind of crappy. Now they have a whole bunch of new stuff. I haven't been there, but I've read about it. But would be happy to advertise Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Universe. Anyway, so much for that. By the way, just to let you know, remember we had the G contrast, and then we had the Hershey bars, then we had the Twix, then we had the vitamin water, then we had Snickers, and I think we had some other thingamajig. No one has supported us yet. In fact, not only aren't they supporting us, but they thought we were making fun of them, so they're not sending me any more vitamin water, even if I pay for it. And the Snickers bar, my last Snickers had no peanuts. They gave me some crappy Snickers. So anyway, but going back to the education side of things, I think one of the things we are, and I can tell you, we'll speak about this a little bit also later in the month, on CTisus, we're having a lot of new things on the educational side. And again, if you look at the front page of CTisus, we're building out the deep learning, and we have a lot of content, and I'm reading a lot of articles. I'll be giving a lecture. I'll be recording with Hannah a lecture in 2 weeks, which you'll see at the beginning of next year on deep learning that I gave on my course in Las Vegas. We also we have a lot of friends at NVIDIA, which is a wonderful company, and they gave us access to their entire library of lectures. And we're trying not to put up the ones that are so difficult that none of us can understand, but we're putting up about 30 lectures that you could listen to. Front page of CTisus will say lectures courtesy of NVIDIA. They're really, really good. There's some talks. We try not to have the ones that are very difficult, that are kind of like, okay, you got to be a computer geek or something to be able to understand. But we are doing and trying to build that out. You'll see that. Lily joined us, and she is working with some new things for us. And so we have Pinterest. If you go to CTisus, the front page, we have one of everything, but we're now on LinkedIn and Pinterest. Remember, we put most of our effort on Facebook, which we are now, and then a lot of effort we've put on Instagram, which is really growing. And we've kind of put Twitter on the side. We kind of tweet, but it's via Facebook, so they're not the world's greatest tweets, and we tend not to pay attention, so we don't tweet. We don't retweet a tweet. So it's not like, what's that, rabbit or something? It's tweets. But so we are doing that kind of thing. So I think it's something to take a look at. So we are, and we do want your input. I think one of the things we always ask people is to tell us, email us, write us what you do like, what you don't like, what is it that we can do differently on the various platforms that we use. We also are building really strong our apps. We have 16 apps, and we had 15 before. We just introduced a new one, the lumbar spine, which is spectacular. Kind of rack-laid the project. It's really spectacular. It's only for iPad. You can go in the Apple Store now and get it. Don't tell anybody because it's being presented at RSNA. But not only do we have new apps, but we redo our apps. So every 6 months, we redo our lecture series. We redo our quiz series. We redo our Pearl series. And then we update other apps as well as need be. And we're constantly looking to develop new apps. So hopefully, my goal is to basically develop 2 new apps a year, as well as upgrading probably half the apps. So we are doing that. People do ask, why don't we go on Chrome or something, or go on Google with the apps? We have a lot of stuff on Google, on YouTube, of course. We have thousands and thousands of videos, but to make things for a non-Mac platform, it's just kind of work, but we don't have the manpower to do the work. And so we are going to be sticking, people always ask us to move over, but for a foreseeable future, we will be sticking with the Mac platform and the Mac iOS, because then we know you could see anything on every device, and we really have it down to a science. So I think we will be seeing that there. I think also, again, we do want people to tell us what it is that you would like to see, what topics, and we are going to try this year maybe to get some other speakers, since it is a challenge getting everything done in a timely fashion, and also kind of expanding our universe. So I have to think about how we're going to do things, maybe get people like Charlie White, and then get some of the internal people who usually kind of afraid of doing it, so that is a challenge. What else? If anyone has any questions, this probably is a good time to answer those questions. It's interesting, this whole area of AI. I mentioned last time the rapid diffusion of AI, or the acceptance. So there have been like 10 articles the last couple of days, again, from brain to dermatology to pathology slides to scheduling patients to running an ER, on and on and on. So I think one of the reasons we are putting a lot of effort into AI is we like to be ahead of the pack, not behind the pack. That old quote that if you are taking a walk and you turn around and nobody's following, let me see, I screwed that up. If you think you're leading and you turn around and no one's following, then you're simply taking a walk. Okay, that's the quote from Evans, who was the head of the NAACP. Let's see, what else can I tell you? We hear also, speaking to a lot of our friends in California, and although the fires, fortunately, are not exactly near them, people even in Palo Alto and Menlo Park are having issues with breathing. The air pollution is just so bad from the smoke and fire. So we hope it rains and cleans the air out, and we hope that the firefighters continue to do a great job and they can end this absolute tragedy between the deaths. And you can imagine how many people died, and then animals died, and pets, and nature destroyed, and people's homes and lives destroyed. So it is really extremely sad. And I think forgetting Trump, forgetting whoever else is Republican or Democrat, I think what we need to do is make certain that you have a meeting of really the best people in forest stuff and fires, and really figure out what is it you can do. These forest fires are getting worse. Be practical. What is it you can do? Maybe not prevent them, but minimize the damage, because every year it seems to be worse and worse. It's the, usually it's the worst fire in 1,000 years, and it's the worst fire in that month, and then that weekend, that day. So it is kind of problematic. So if anyone has any questions, I don't see any questions at all on the booth. There's a lot of people waving at us from, particularly on Instagram. Hard to look at both places at the same time, but I think we'll stop there. We'll wish everybody again a happy and healthy and meaningful Thanksgiving. And we'll see you. We're not going to see you next Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm still at RSNA. We will see you next Thursday as I fly back from RSNA. And with that, have a great week. And I'm ending the program.